A very warm welcome to all ELPA friends and ELPA's followers. So we are here today to do a special interview with Professor Fabien Zoulim, and we are honored that he took the time to be part of this interview. He obtained his medical education in gastroenterology and hepatology in Lyon Medical School in 1991. He also obtained a PhD in molecular and cellular biology and was trained as a postdoctoral researcher at Fox Chase Cancer Center in Philadelphia. He's a professor of medicine at Lyon One University since 1997, and he's the head of the hepatology department at the Hospice Civique de Lyon and head of the viral hepatitis research laboratory of INSERM Unit 1052. Dr. Zoulim is currently associate editor for Gut. He also served as governing board member of the European Association for the Study of the Liver, or EASL. And Dr. Zoulim received a William Prusov Award of the International Society for Antiviral Research. He is currently coordinating the ANRS Hepatitis B Cure Task Force in France and the IP Cure B project within the European Union Horizon 2020 work program. He co-founded the International Coalition to Eliminate Hepatitis B, and he has published more than 500 articles. So we are very honored to have you today here with us, and thank you for your time and availability. And then let's go straight to the point. In your opinion, with just 9 years to achieve the WHO goal and targets adopted in 2016 to eliminate viral hepatitis as a major public health threat by 2030, has the COVID-19 pandemic put the reaching out of that goal in more significant doubt?
So hello, good morning, and thank you for the invitation. I think this question is obviously outstanding. We are facing this pandemic with COVID-19, and clearly this had an impact on the management of chronic HBV infection. I mean, patients were because of the lockdown, patients' management was delayed. Patients were afraid of being referred to hospitals. So this has resulted in a delay in management of patients. The second thing is that regarding research, the lockdown has delayed research in laboratories as well as in clinical centers because all the resources were mainly reallocated to COVID, and the lockdown also slowed down the research. So I think we had an impact, and it's difficult to know now how long this impact will last, because this COVID pandemic is not managed completely today. So we will see, but it had an impact, and this is unfortunate, but we have to face it now.
So after this period, or hopefully the COVID pandemic will end soon, so do you see like the researchers and medical personnel, they would need to work harder or quicker, or the work will go on as same as before, and we will try to reach that goal for hepatitis B until 2030?
So 2030 is really an optimistic deadline, I think. So but anyway, we'll have to work hard all together, and I think we need to have all stakeholders working together, including patients and patients association, researchers, scientists from academia, industry, clinicians for clinical trials, as well as institutions, so that we really put a lot of effort to manage hepatitis B. The first thing is really to improve awareness of hepatitis B worldwide. We need to improve the coverage of vaccine in the general population. We need to screen the population, especially in highly endemic countries, and as well as in Western countries, in the migrant populations, for instance. We need to reinforce the linkage to care once the patients are diagnosed, make sure that they can see doctors, they are managed adequately, treated when necessary. And obviously we need to have research going on to improve the current therapies. So all this needs to be done, and we need to work all together for that.
So thank you very much. And now just a very simple question. So we do know that with viral hepatitis, for example, hepatitis C can be cured, but hepatitis B, it looks like that it's harder to cure hepatitis B. So can you please explain, considering your outstanding experience as hepatologist, what is the main reason that the chronic hepatitis B virus is so difficult to cure?
Yeah. So this is an important question because people usually don't understand. These are two viruses that infect the liver, but they behave completely differently. So hepatitis C is maintained in the liver by multiplication of the virus in the infected cell. So if we block replication, so the virus will fade away. For hepatitis B, this is different because the hepatitis B persistence relies on two mechanisms. One is the persistence of the viral genome as a cccDNA, which is the viral mini chromosome. So this is an archive of the virus in the infected cell. It is very difficult to eliminate it. And the second point is that the immune responses to fight the virus in patients are exhausted, which makes it very difficult to eliminate the residual infected cells. So we will need to work in terms of research on both aspects. Needs to find strategies to directly target the viral mini chromosome, the cccDNA, and also to try to boost the immune responses to combat the virus.
So if I understood you correctly, this is the focus of the clinical research that is going on now today?
So today, exactly, I mean, the preclinical and clinical research is really trying to focus on these two aspects, trying to better suppress viral replication and try to target cccDNA. Today it's indirectly, but in the future it will be a direct targeting of cccDNA, and also to stimulate the immune responses. So this is the clear focus of the ongoing research.
Thank you. And in regards of the patients that are fighting hepatitis B infection, so what are the kind of the main problems that the patients face?
So today, for patients, when we talk with patients, what they are facing is stigmatization of being infected by a virus, and this may have impact on their social integration, family issues, professional issues. So stigmatization is one point. The second point is that once they have they know their disease, they have to go to the doctor, and the management and treatment will be lifelong. So this is really a major issue. And the another important point is access to care. In many parts of the world, even if patients know their status, the question is, how can I get a correct and adequate management, an optimal treatment? So the different issues may be at different levels depending on the regions where patients live.
Thank you for that. Sometimes when we talk to patient representatives, we get a feeling in Europe that because countries have a very strict plan regarding the vaccination for hepatitis B, some of the patients that get infected, they are overlooked, or there are a lack of specific programs that would seek for patients who need treatment for hepatitis B. What is your opinion on that?
No, you're perfectly right. I mean, why hepatitis B is not at the forefront in the media or in the knowledge of the population compared to other diseases like COVID, HIV, hepatitis C, I think is one of the reasons is linked to the vaccine, because in the general mind, since there's a vaccine, there's no problem with hepatitis B, which is completely not true, because we have 250 million chronic carriers, much more than HIV, much more than HCV in the world. So I think this is what I was saying at the beginning, we need to raise awareness everywhere on hepatitis B, on the burden of hepatitis B, the number of people chronically infected, the need for screening, because the issue is all the complications that will come downstream of HBV infection, including cirrhosis and hepatocellular carcinoma. So raising awareness and screening, that's a take-home message.
Thank you. Yes, and in this time now, we hear a lot about European Beating Cancer Plan and presentation about cancer. And then we see a lot of presentations about liver cancer. And as a patient community, we can always feel that liver cancer is somehow connected also to other liver diseases, hepatitis included. So this could also be a sort of next door to cancer, or what do you think? How can we practically work on this? Is hepatitis also linked to the liver cancer?
Oh yeah, sure. Hepatitis B is really the first cause of hepatocellular carcinoma worldwide. Obviously, this is the main cause in highly endemic countries like in Asia and sub-Saharan Africa. Really, this is a major cause there. In Western countries, we have other etiologies of liver disease that result in liver cancer, which are hepatitis C, which is hopefully declining with the new treatments, but still a major problem. We have alcohol-related liver disease, which is a major issue, a clinical issue worldwide, and especially in Western countries, and also the metabolic disease, the NAFLD, so the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is really emerging and causing chronic liver disease and liver cancer. So, but in any case, we shouldn't forget hepatitis B, because overall, at the worldwide scale, this is the first cause of liver cancer.
So if I understood you correctly, do you think then if we lower the cases of hepatitis B infections and chronic hepatitis B, or we try to manage it better, we will also lower the number of cases that develop HCC?
Yes. There is no doubt about it. We have the experience in Taiwan. In Taiwan, they started in the early 80s to do a mass vaccination against hepatitis B. And they have shown in Taiwan that the vaccination was able to decrease not only the number of chronically infected people with HBV, but also to decrease the rate of hepatocellular carcinoma at the level of the country. So this was really a proof of concept that we shouldn't forget. They've done an extremely outstanding study and effort showing that the vaccination was not only preventing the infection, but also the cancer, the liver cancer.
So we have a real case example of what can be done if we do the hepatitis B in the proper and manageable way So thank you for that. In regards of patient associations, from a medical doctor perspective, what do you think which could be the patient organization's role, for example, in hepatitis elimination, and which could be the role of patient associations and patients in participation in a medical or scientific projects, such as, for example, IPQB?
I think the patient association shouldn't be forgotten by doctors and researchers, because we as doctors and scientists are working on hepatitis B for patients, and this should be remembered. The first objective is to improve patients' management, and the patients have their word because they have the disease. They are living with this disease. So they know what are the problems. We mentioned stigmatization, for instance, linkage difficulties with linkage to care, and so on. So I think that the patients association advocacy group are extremely important to have a voice and raise awareness among the population, also with the stakeholders, the institution, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Research, to say, hey, this is an important disease. See, it's important also in terms of counseling, because there are patients that are newly diagnosed. If they could have easy access to some counseling from patients who have the experience of their management and so on, that would really be of great help. And I think among others, I mean, the patient association may have a role in supporting research on the disease, and trying to also give the information to the patient community that when there are clinical trials that they may benefit directly, but also this may benefit for the whole community of infected patients. So it's important that there is really a good integration of information between the medical community and the patient community, so that we work together. Obviously, it's always difficult to propose innovative drugs, investigational drugs, because they are, by definition, they are new. But we need to have this trust in the relationship that we are trying to make advances for a better management of the disease. So I think there might be other important missions for the patient advocacy that I might have forgotten, but I think raising awareness, patients counseling, helping in patients counseling, and supporting research would be quite some important goals. So you had a mention on the IPQB project. So the IPQB project is a newly funded European Union funded project that is dedicated to investigating the management of new management of hepatitis B, with the aim of tackling the two important components of viral persistence, cccDNA, the viral mini chromosome, and boosting the immune responses. So there is a focus on this in this European project on re-educating the antiviral immune responses in the liver to be able to better stimulate these immune responses and thus better control the viral mini chromosome, the cccDNA. So that's the overall scientific objective. So there are different countries involved in Europe and outstanding experts. And there is a clinical trial that will start this fall that will address the a combination of antivirals and immune modulators to better combat the infection.
So if I understood you correctly, so the goals of IPCure-B project are also then directly connected or in relations with hepatitis elimination on the general level?
Exactly, because we in this project we are it's interesting because it is really a continuum between basic research on understanding the mechanism of valve persistence, translational research, and clinical research with clinical trials, trying to really fight the virus by combining antivirals and immune modulators with the evaluation of biomarkers and so on, trying to improve the functional cure rate, so the loss of HBs antigen. So this will contribute. This will be a piece of contribution to the overall goal of the WHO to eliminate the infection.
Thank you very much, Professor Zoulim. You touched on so many different points, and maybe for the end, I should really highlight that the interest of the public for health issues is on a high level now because of COVID-19, and they should really check the source of the information, because we have a lot of different news out there available for patients, and they should check the medical researchers. They should check really who is providing the information that is available. And if the information available is from a reliable source, then they can expect that this information is really reliable and not something like fake news. So from the European Liver Patient Association and all the patients that we represent, we do hope that you arrive to the final goal of IPCure-B as quickly as possible, because this will radically change the position of patients with chronic hepatitis B in the world and will radically change the landscape of hepatitis B. So from my side, as a president of ALPA, I'm just will say thank you for your time, for your availability, and of course, thank you for your focus of your work and for your work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I would like to mention that we are extremely happy within IPCure-B to work with ALPA. This is extremely important, and we will do our best at the level of basic science and at the level of clinical research to improve the functional cure rate in hepatitis B. This is really our major goal.
Thank you very much.